The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with your humble and lovable host, David White. Again, this is a kind of interesting day out here in the fact that almost nothing is happening. It is an interesting day. So we'll take a look at it. Right now, as we go into the day, we are up 2 points with 1 point. What am I going to call it? 1.66 billion shares on the consolidated. 1.5 billion shares on the consolidated tape. And it's going to be a very, very quiet day. Of course, the last few days that we have a lot of the street participants on Wall Street in the Hamptons. Last couple of days for, just playing around, having vacations. Of course, school has really already started, but a lot of times I think up there in the Northeast, they try to squeeze in one last big weekend in the Hamptons, and this is it. So probably seeing a lot of guys show up late today or tomorrow morning that are head honchos on the trading floor. So I expect we're going to see a lot more in that kind of way of the volume. I'm actually surprised that the market is held up. I thought it would tend to sell off a little bit quicker here today, not heavily, but just quicker. We've got a few stocks that are actually moving. Of course, the one that probably I'm the most interested in is Apple. We've been tracking the confluence level that came in right at 514 on it, and it'll continue to be a something I'm looking at and seeing how confluence comes in and are working. Let's see. We're going to have some stocks to actually watch, and you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And we've got a couple of these stocks that actually have hitting highs and actually with higher volume, which is rare. A lot of these have just had pretty much the same or lighter volume pulled back into it. One that it did break pretty much last week was Harley Davidson. It's playing right around at this $60 level, and you need probably about 1 million shares. It had a spike on the 25th of last month, and that volume came in at 3.1 million shares. So you can say it got into that candle with higher volume. This is the retest. Last 2 days, 1.2 million shares on Friday, and it looks like we're probably going to come in with about 1 million. So this is going to be another good one, not necessarily to play, but see how some of these bigger stocks of Dow and the New York Stock Exchange are reacting to what is a very low volume move in these markets. Hopefully you've got a brand new system here in the trading bunker for the audio, and hopefully everybody in the den can hear me nice and clearly. Trying a little different setup here and getting away from the boom mic, and hopefully that'll make it sound just a little clearer for all our listeners and listenerettes out there from sea to shining sea. Other stocks that going to be of interest out here. Let's take a quick look. Amgen's up about 9%. AMGN. And there's another one up here that touched a high today, and that's what I was looking for. You had a low volume high of April 23rd. It came with 4.8 million shares. And it just not a lot of volume. You got into it on August 7th, and that had 9.9 million shares. So you're about a $1.70 short of hitting that high. It was certainly into that candle today, up, and of course 8 million shares. Now you should imagine that this thing would have an easy time of staying above the 114.95, but doesn't look like it's got a lot going for it today so far. Of course, we are getting very close to fund buying. It is always the last 3 trading days of the month and first 2. That means we're going to probably see a little bullish bias on the 28th. But right now, I think we've got such a focus on world events going to be very interesting, especially in the Mideast where Iran's rattling some sabers. I guess maybe we are too, and it's going to be interesting. Just seeing if anything else is going on. We did have that Amgen play. I want to see what else is out here. Tesla's up a little bit more out here. Just can't seem to stop it. And, of course, the PR machine on this thing is in full blast. But for a car maker, making 25,000 cars a year, that is priced for a car company making 339,000 cars a year. Still a little bit interesting. AGU, of course, we're always interested here in commodities. And the Agrim, this is an ETF with, I think this is an Agrim ETF, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at, retail, agricultural products and services. The company operates through 3 segments: retail, wholesale, and advanced technologies. This thing did bounce up fairly nicely today. What was it? Reuters reporting that the potash producer in the Ukraine, I think it's I'm not going to get this pronunciation correct, but it's Ukrali, is in discussions to purchase distributors to increase their sales. So again, one of these potash companies that just got hammered from about a little over 92, 93 in a number of days, back down to 77.19. The low of that day is probably support, and why we're bouncing here a bit. Any of these potash companies probably have a good chance of coming back and retesting those lows. TSN, take a quick look at that one. TSN is Tyson's Foods. This was downgraded today by B of A and Merrill both. And of course, actually popped with decent volume, although a very narrow candle on the first day with the big volume on the 5th of August. Then we, the next day, actually had some decent volume at 10 million shares. We're going back through that today with 6.6 million, 6.7 million shares right now. This gets 10 million shares, and even the 2850 range could be in jeopardy, but I imagine that we're probably going to see very quickly that this gap is filled over the next couple of days in Tyson Foods. We had a huge short squeeze today on DDD. Someone actually called me on the Tom O'Brien show about this stock on Friday, and kind of interesting to see this one run on a short squeeze, initiated with a buy at Citigroup. Of course, they wait until this thing absolutely at the top. Decent volume today, so this is going to change at least the technical perspective on this. But I have a feeling that, like a lot of these stocks, they're going to come right back into the trading range over the next few days. CHN, is that right? CNH. CNH Global, not a lot to see here. The CFO resigned to pursue other interests. Everybody always worries about the potential for fraud when a CFO goes. because normally it's not for any good. ING reports that its company plans to sell its South Korean insurance unit to a private equity firm for 1.7 billion shares. Off about 2%, but no big deal. This thing did make a very tiny little abandoned baby or shooting star on Friday with this closeout here today. So if you were interested in these kind of patterns, keep a very close eye on this. ING is the symbol on that one. QIHU, which is the Kuaihu 360, kind of a Chinese internet company, actually is getting run here fairly decently. Beat quarterly EPS by 14 cents, 40 cents versus its 26 cent estimate. Revenues rose 108% year over year to 151 million. Seems awful small for a country with a billion people. 151 million, but still better than 144 million. Sees Q3 revenues of 181, 183. Gee-hoo. Huh. Okay. So that's it. Casino stocks a little higher. CZR. Caesars Entertainment. I want to talk about this one because it's got such incredibly, apparently our engineer, I'm not exactly sure who it is, if it's Disco Steve or Revenge of the Nerds Al in there, but they are IMing me here that it's Chi-Hu. I wonder if they're right. Quai-Hu, Chi-Hu. Yeah, maybe that's how you pronounce it. Chi-Hu 360. Okay. Anyway, Caesars. And remember, this is one of the stocks that, in an all-time slap in the face to investors, came out with 1% of the shares in the float of the market. This was one of the weirdest IPOs ever. And when we look at this, go back a little farther here. See if there's anything else to it. It had a huge trading day. The first day it came out, maybe 75 or 80% of the original price. But I think there were like 10,000 shares total on this. I haven't checked it back out later, but I suspect that's probably a similar issue. Anyway, we are going to break, and we will be coming back in just a moment. But feel free to give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN has just announced our first ever virtual trading competition, and we're giving away $10,000 in cash prizes, and it's free to enter. Sign up by Thursday, September 5th at noon Eastern, and the trading competition will take place the following week, Monday, September 9th, with first place winning $3,000. Don't delay, as you won't be able to register once the competition begins. Sign up now and reserve your spot in TFNN's $10,000 virtual trading competition. To sign up and for all the details, log on to TFNN.com. McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. And of course, we've got a brand new promotion. And I think you're going to like this one because it's not going to cost you anything. And you can actually make something on it. We're going to have a nice contest, and it is a $10,000 virtual competition where we'll be giving away $10,000 in cash prizes. It's free to enter, and people have to sign up by Thursday, September 5th at noon, and the trading competition will begin the following week, Monday, September 9th at 9 a.m., and it will end on Friday, September 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of heartbreak, I am not allowed to participate in it. I like to whomp on some folks and win this. But going to be nice. I think, is it right? I'll have to go back and look at it. This is the first day of it. But I think the top prize is it $3,000? I think that's what we were giving away. So take a look at it. Let's see what else says out here. See, we'll be giving 35 prizes that range from $100 to $3,000. So 35 big winners, plus we're giving away 35 copies of Tom's book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. So a good deal out there. We'll see. But anyway, make sure to go to the front page of TFNN and check that out to get a full the full layout, but sign up now. It's not going to cost you anything, or be an issue. And especially in these kind of quiet markets, maybe you can score a lucky victory and make some bucks. But, of course, I think we're going to have a lot more volume as we come back in the coming weeks. In fact, I suspect that by Wednesday the volume will really start picking up in these markets. And, of course, this market almost looks stuck, 1665.83 and 1.55 billion shares. So just a very, very quiet day. Once again, trying to push up to that high at 1670 on the S&P cash. Just doesn't look like there's a whole lot of anything back in that. I saw somebody mentioning IBM. So let's take a look at that real quick. This thing's slowly tried to come back in, but even it has been sold off again today on a very light volume. This thing really looks like it wants to go back just about $6 lower. See if I can get a longer time frame here on this thing. There's a couple of gaps, but the one gap I'm looking at is about 167 to 179. 177 to 179, excuse me. And that's the bottom of a gap that's been back in here for a while. Should see a decent support in there. The last major low came in at 9 million shares, and that low was January 13th of 2012. I suspect this thing's been in a monster consolidation for a while, and I'm going to be looking at this thing come back in at 177.35. 9.2 million shares is what you're looking for. And, of course, a very light test out here. But normally when you can't get going like that, off that 183.17 low we had just last week, normally you get right back into it. You want some kind of sign of strength. And today, trying to go higher and just having nothing in the way of volume to really speak of. Let's see what is the volume on that right now. 1.4 million shares. So very quiet. Let's see what else we have out here. I was starting to think about just how some of these broker-dealers were lining up. One of the things that came out of my scan over the weekend was Interactive Brokers. Their last high was at $17.49, and that was on April 3rd of 2012. We did get into that, and we are above it. We've got 420,000 shares now. Of course, you need 580,000. Certainly isn't going to be a huge ringing endorsement. Got a question in the den, and, of course, you can always call and give me and ask a question on the air, or you can even send me an email at path@tfnn.com, and I'll try to catch it before the last break and get to it if we can. Okay, well, I'm going to look at AutoZone and see what we think out here. Another one of these things that just came back in the trading range. We'll look at this a little bit more as we come back. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, we're looking at AZO, and that is AutoZone. Very interesting out here. The question was whether or not you could get a short out of this. And certainly it has failed. The breakout as such really didn't come out with any kind of volume. You really were looking for it at 435 on that May 31st high out here for 740,000 shares. And, if you just go back through all the days starting around the 11th of June, 11th of July, 300,000, 100,000, 58,000, 111,000, just no volume as it goes sideways. As it starts to break out, 200,000, 360,000, 200,000, just never had the volume, and that's an excellent clue. You're above the previous high of May 21st. You did it on half the volume, and, of course, it gapped right back down, and I guess that's probably on earnings. Maybe someone in the den can tell me. But it looked like it popped down on 8/7, so August 7th. And nice volume back in there, 407,000. I would have liked to seen it at least equal that 740,000 share day on May 21st on the way back down. And without that, it just looks to me like it's kind of trapped in a big trading range out here from probably about $405 back up to 435. So going to really need some kind of movement. If this thing can get back up to 433, 440, 435, and at least hit the bottom of this gap, maybe you could, and the volume truly fell out. It was 100,000 shares every day. Maybe that you could set up for that. I suspect that the economy is getting weaker. We saw numbers coming out for this morning that were incredibly weak. Every time I see those, one thing I probably would not be short is AutoZone. Just doesn't make sense to me. I know people are buying newer cars, but I still see a ton of them. And I'm my own wrench. I raced motorcycles. I raced cars down here in Florida at the tracks, at the major asphalt tracks, road racing, not the NASCAR going around in circles kind of thing. And you know, I'm pretty familiar with it, and I like to work on my own cars when capable of it. But the one thing I do know out here is there just isn't a anything to really hang your hat on this. You're down at 435. You're at 435. The worse the economy gets, probably the better this stock does. Now, could you pull back to 400? Yeah, but I think, you know, you might see 400 for a minute. The market would really have to fall apart for this to get sold off, too. I just kind of always looks like this thing is, as long as the average age of cars continues to get higher, it's hard for me to actually say I'd want to short AutoZone or any of the car parts retailers out there. But that's just my thought. If things got really good, and people started buying huge amounts of new cars, back to the 16 million mark that normally we had from 2005 to 2008, 16, I think it's 16 million cars. But I think at 12 million, we are still having the average age of the fleet get higher, not lower. So I would probably avoid just the fundamentals of AutoZone having more and more customers out there. They service so many repair shops that's hard to think about shorting them. What else do we have out here? RFP, Resolute Forest Products. If anybody was listening to the TFNN's the show on Friday, and Tom O'Brien's show, I was guest hosting. Normally we talk technology, and I kind of did that a little bit. Tom called in. He was talking about pine beetles and buying wood. He's always got his eyes open for a new opportunity. But this Resolute Forest Products caught my eye over the weekend, and this one, you know, not a huge mover out here, but looks like it could be in a range from about 12.58 to 15.80. So a nice trade out here. It had a huge move down, but not a lot of volume on the 1st of August, but very interesting. Anyway, we're seeing 12.85, which was the June 24th low with 1 million shares. Got into it, went 4 cents below it on Friday, 370,000 shares. That's got to be nice. I don't like the energy up and down was about the same, so I wouldn't be biting on this. But there are a few stocks out there that look like they're starting to bottom. And if there was any real change in the new home building, we got a number that ticked back up again. I'd probably be watching it. I suspect this is going to bounce out or and consolidate out around this $12 to $14 area. And probably going to get one more chance to catch this thing if the market does turn up in that retail housing sector. And let's go. You know, we've got another one, the same kind of thing, which has got me kind of worried about housing out here. That is that we gap down fairly hard on Restoration Hardware. Symbol on it is RH. If everybody is buying these old homes and fixing them up, we should see probably a lot more action from Restoration Hardware. This thing gapped down with 5.1 million shares on the 12th of July. Even had kind of a pretty nasty candle coming back. It's bounced once off of the gap up that actually occurred on June 14th with a 3.1 million shares. Came back there and did make it slow, 63.81, but it really hasn't ever caught any more volume up. So you could think about setting this up as an ABC down. And if you did, let's take a look at it here. What is that, 77? Oh, maybe 1 year. Yeah, try to take a look at this real quick here. And give me just 1 second here. There we go. A, B, C. So you got a 68% retrace today, but just no volume, and you're going right into that candle of July 11th that came down with decent volume, certainly. 1 million shares were about half that right now. Of course, the next day came down and blew that out with 5 million shares, and coming back in that. But if we're probably going to see one more leg down on the housing market, I'm thinking that Restoration Hardware will be the clue tomorrow. If this thing starts heading back down and we have an ABC down, this is setting up a 1-to-1 that would come right in at the bottom of where this thing gapped up on 613, actually gapped up on 614 on 3 million shares. So you've got to be watching that. But you could come back to that 59.52, and maybe that is the whole ABC down move that takes the housing stocks and actually finally gets a tradable bottom out of these instead of the ABCs that they are kind of moving on. So what else do we have? I wanted to check and see. Not a whole lot of movement in this. Up 2 points on the S&P cash again. Market moving like molasses. 1665.51 with 1.6 billion shares. So this market is just crawling along. See if there's anything else I wanted to look at. When we look to world markets out here, Germany's DAX was up 0.2. France off 0.1. Spain off 0.4. Portugal off 0.6. Italy was probably the only real mover out here, off a 2.1%. So a big move on that. Irish were off 0.1%, and Greece was off 0.6%. So what can we say? Not a whole lot going on here. We've got LinkedIn, LNKD, making yet another new high. And we wanted to be watching the volume on this one. Certainly could be starting a new ABC. But what do we need today? We need volume. When do we need it? Now. The last high was on August 13th. $244, 2.4 million shares, 1.5 million shares so far, and it doesn't look like maybe it's going to hold that above that 244 today. So you need to be watching, and this may be kind of the last gas of some of these big movers out here. Probably wouldn't be shorting LinkedIn either. But very interesting. Again, there's plenty of time before the end of the show. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And what else we have going on out here? Let's see if we've got a few more stocks. To a little one longer on here. Talisman Energy. I wanted to look at this one and didn't have time this morning. Saw it in my scan. This looks like another one that could be bottoming out here. Certainly very interesting. It's a upstream oil and gas company, engages in the exploration, development, production, transportation, and marketing of crude oil, natural gas, and natural gas liquids. But this is kind of interesting out here in nat gas. I didn't look at what do we have going on out here? Give me just a second. UNG's up 16 cents. For natural gas, you had a nice low out here, and that low came on October 31st with a lot of volume, 17 million shares. That low has pretty much been acting as support for a while. You had that 17 million shares at $10.72. Came in and tested it with 10 million shares on April 17th, and you came back in one more time, really pierced it on August 14th with 6.7 million shares. Pretty much everything you want in a bottom. I don't know about the fundamentals too much of this company. Again, what you really want to see, great pattern, is some kind of strength out of this thing that makes us think this thing could go back up to either 1238, which is the May 30th high, or even the February 25th high, which is at $13.12. Anyway, we're looking at some other ones out here. Microsoft, of course, really had a nice pop on Friday. If you were out, MSFT, it felt like 30 seconds. You try holding a sneeze. I take it we're talking about Revenge of the Nerds Owl back in here, but I don't know who's actually engineering at the moment. Anyway, we've got Microsoft, of course, had a huge bounce on Friday. For those that haven't been paying attention, the CEO that I've railed against for probably the last 2 years finally was forced out. They said it was amicable. He wants to be called the Owlmeister, but if I said Revenge of the Nerds Owl and you thought about the movie, you'd think exactly. That is the tech guy at Lambda. So anyway, Microsoft, MSFT. What else do we have up here? The Owlmeister fail. I'm still here. Can you hear me? I'll call right back.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Well, that was interesting. Now, that was interesting. Nice little music to close out the show with. I don't know, we're having a few technical glitches today, but we'll continue to work that out and be interesting. So other things that we're looking at here today is just this a very, very light volume. And again, as I'm talking about this, I brought it up a little bit earlier, but it is just very, very light. And we're probably going to see that start to pick up a little bit tomorrow morning, and then probably really have decent volume again by Wednesday. Not a whole lot coming out in the way of news this week, so we'll have to see how that works out. But a few other stocks I wanted to take a look at. We've got a few of them moving around. Intel is one of them, and see. Keep on thinking this thing is going to get down to about 2150. It's kind of just getting in a narrower trading range. But one thing I'd love is to get one more test down here at the 2189 and see that volume dry up even more than that. The previous low at 2264 came at 50 million. We still came in with 43 million at 2189 on that August 16th. You did have a lighter volume. You have been trying to move up. But just like we saw in AutoZone that it couldn't break out any higher, I still have a problem with these stocks. A lot of them down here that are trying to base out at the bottom, that once they've hit and tested on lower volume, they are just not getting any energy or signs of strength back off the bottom either. So we'll continue to look at that. Let's take a quick look at Google. seeing a lot of negative things about Google in the news over the weekend. And, of course, not doing a lot to the stock today. But this is certainly one that is in an asymmetrical triangle, and at least I think it is. I am expecting this probably to base out and narrow out for a little while. But as let's see if we go to a shorter one out here, maybe you can see what I'm looking at. But you've got some lows, and it did make a little higher high out here on July 15th. That certainly was a sign of weakness that we've seen all over this market, and that is finding these big highs. In this case, the May 20th high, $920.60, 3.9 million shares come into it with half the volume, and this is a huge stock. When you can only get half the people in the door, something's going to happen. In this case, within a day or so, it was back into that sub 920 trading range. It's gone back down to the lows. Just not a whole lot of volume down here in the bottom part, and so we're back into that candle of June 6th. That really was kind of a rejection of the lower price and got down to 847.22, but 2.5 million shares. So we're back into that a little bit, July 16th. So what are we over that? 3 and 6 and 9, $10 above that low on August 16th. Certainly into that candle, but again, just no real push up. No real push down. Makes me think we could get at least our test of the 847.22, and that's where you want to see this thing come back in. You also have a gap that's hanging out here at $830, and I think that's probably where this thing's going. 844. There was a previous high out here on March 6th. Anyway, you all have a great, safe, and wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. And Channel 14 on Tiger TV if you want to watch all these videos. Be back tonight.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.